Was he a chairman? No, I don't think he was. Was he a businessman? No, I don't think he was. Did he know anything about Wednesday? No. Did he like the fans? No. Did he disrespect everybody? Yes.
Hello and welcome to another edition of All Wednesday. We're very privileged today to be joined by a true Sheffield Wednesday great, Mel Sterland. How are you doing, Mel? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How's yourself?
Yeah, very, very good. So, yeah,
Good,
it
good.
feels like we've turned a corner, doesn't it?
Ah, honest to God, I've never been as happy. Never ever been as happy. As a Sheffield lad, supporting them, playing for him for 11 years, captaining them. Watching them on the court as a kid with my brothers. Um, we've got it back. We're back.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Obviously there was a big moment the other night with yourself and Hursty and Imre and Chris and those guys. What was that like for you? Obviously, as a as you mentioned, a Sheffield born lad, a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Not that it doesn't mean a lot to other people, but it's a bit different for you, isn't it?
Absolutely. I can. Like I said, I can remember as a kid, 14-year-old, training at Sheffield Wednesday, uh, going on till I'm 15, and then signing apprentice at 16 straight from school. So it means a hell of a lot. And to see the players there the other night was amazing. Terry Curran, I played with Terry Curran, Roger Wilde, Imre Varade. I didn't play with Chrissy Waddle, unfortunately. I played with Waddles when I played for England
Mm.
in Saudi, but Hursty played with us. Listen, absolutely magnificent. And it was just so lovely to see the faces. And believe it or not, they all smiling as well. It's
Yeah, no,
great.
it
It's
does.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it does make a difference. It was so like from a fan's perspective, it was so nice to see everyone back there because I know that under the previous ownership, it all got a little bit tetchy. Some people weren't necessarily welcome back with open arms and all that kind of thing. So, to have these Sheffield Wednesday greats sort of be welcomed back and get such sort of a reaction being back in the ground must have just been lovely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've been waiting for a long time.
Mm,
I do the program notes up at Sheffield Wednesday, and it's not the same as coming to games. We all know about the chairman. Um, was he a chairman? No, I don't think he was.
mm,
Was he a businessman? No, I don't think he was. Did he know anything about Wednesday? No. Did he like the fans? No. Did he disrespect everybody? Yes. And
mm.
it's so frustrating, He didn't realise how much them fans um, appreciate that football club. And he thought he were bigger than the football club. And he's
Yeah,
not. The fans was magnificent
yeah,
to do what they did. And obviously the people who worked there, there's some ladies in that shop, Wednesday shop, who were there when I was playing, when I
mm,
played there.
yeah,
So to see them with smiles on their face, it made me so happy.
yeah.
I can remember watching the Middlesbrough game. Me and my granddaughter went, and I came home, and believe it or not, I cried.
Sure. Yeah.
I cried my eyes out in front of my granddaughter because there were no fans there, all for a reason, for a good reason as well. So
Mm.
yeah, but now it's changing, and everybody's happy, like I've said.
Yeah. Just on that, you mentioned the fans there. That it's been so impressive, hasn't it? Like the reaction to administration, and the administrators were very quick to say, "Look, if we're going to get this right, we need your help." And boy, did they help.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. The first get Oxford. Oxford, 27,500, I think they were there. That was the
Mm.
first game back then. Norwich, and they've spent the money. They've supported the boys. It's important for that. Very important, not just to get the players playing well, but for the football club.
Mm.
It must have been so destroying for the players not seeing any fans at the games, but it was for a reason, and
Yeah.
the reason was we all know what it was all about, and
Yeah.
it was just fantastic. The fans are magnificent, home and away. They are absolutely amazing fans.
Yeah, and hopefully there are brighter days to come now. Did want to talk to you a little bit about the past, because you had quite a big part to play in that. There was one moment in particular, I'm sure you've spoken about tons over the years. 1984, Crystal Palace. Um, as we've mentioned, as a Wednesday fan, that pressure penalty. How were you feeling about that? Was there a thought process when you were stepping up to take it, or was it just you were just confident from the start?
I was confident, very confident. You know, they were Crystal Palace and Grimsby Town, if you remember. Uh,
Mm,
and obviously the Crystal Palace one, Tony Cunningham got he got the both penalties against Grimsby and Crystal Palace. Tony Cunningham.
mm.
I don't think there were penalties like, but I
Who
was happy
cares?
about it. But yeah, there were no pressure. You know, the one against Palace. In fact, they were both against facing the cop.
Mm,
But yeah, there were no pressure. You know, I knew I had very a lot of confidence in my ability, and you know, to score the goal that basically got us promotion. Well, oh dear me, not just for me, for the fans.
yeah.
You know, it just amazing, and the things after were really good.
Yeah. What was that like as a Sheffield boy? Obviously, you've got a load of mates that are, I'm sure, Wednesday and United growing up. You know, what was the sort of the aftermath of that? You know, all your friends or your old schoolmates, I presume, all that kind of stuff, like getting onto you after you've scored the goal that's got Wednesday promoted.
Well, I didn't go home for a couple of days actually after that. Um, I was on the lash, which were amazing. You
I'm
know, it
sure.
was great. You know, we just got promotion. But
Mhm.
yeah, my twin brother, believe it or not, I didn't realise he was a Sheffield United fan until about 2 years ago. Uh, so yeah, he really destroyed me when I found about that. But
Mm,
you know, the success of the football club, um, myself scoring them penalties. But you know, we had a great team, fantastic team, fantastic players, and they all wanted to play for the football club. I had
mm.
great managers there, great managers.
Yeah, it's crazy, really, because obviously you were part of that promotion team, and then not too long after that came, the early '90s with your Hursties and your Waddles and your Sheridans and those guys, the Rumbelows Cup and the cup finals. You know, when you sort of get to that early '90s period, and you're looking at it as a Wednesday fan, going like, "This is just going to keep getting better." This, like, did you ever envisage that this football club of yours could have gotten to the point that it got to?
Not really. No, I just thought this football club's a massive football club.
Mm,
You know, the fans. You know, uh, we can get 30 odd thousand in that stadium if the football club's doing well. You can see the fans what we're getting now, and we're struggling at the bottom of the league, obviously for reasons because we had a bad man in charge,
mm,
and that's all that boils down to. But you know, the football club's great, and you know, there'll be plenty of people out there who want to buy that football club. I mean, there will be plenty, and to get
mm.
us on a good platform, as we say. But yeah, it's a great club. I just love the football club. I love the fans, uh, and I love it even more now.
Yeah, yeah. I want to touch on that nickname of yours because obviously Ziko he was pretty good, wasn't he? He wasn't a bad player. I just wondered, is there anything other than the fact that you were also pretty good? Is there another link there as to why that nickname came about?
Well, I just think it was the free kicks that I used to score,
Mm,
and obviously me long curly hair, and everybody thinks it were permed, but it wasn't. It were natural, not. Yeah. So yeah, we just it just came from the fans, you know, because I
mm,
scored quite a number of free kicks, and obviously the Brazilian Zico used to score a lot of free kicks by bending them around the wall and
mm.
obviously power, and that's where it really come from. It started from the Wendy fans, obviously, which were
Yeah.
a great name to have.
Yeah, yeah. As nicknames go, it's not bad at all. That I mean, that group you were in, you mentioned Imre earlier, who was part of that group, and you were at the game with him the other night. You two are quite close, aren't you?
Yeah, great buddy of mine, Imre. Stayed with me a couple of times, me and my wife. Yeah, he's a great guy. You know, I've got a lot of time for him. He's always round at this house having his bloody feet done. I don't know why, but he's got all that money and he won't spend his bloody money on going to have his feet done somewhere else. He comes to my wife and fetches her a bottle of bloody wine.
Well,
Uh,
got to stick with people that know you, ain't you? But what was that group like? Obviously, I know you had a lot of good players, like a lot of good footballers in that group, but it was by all accounts, a really good bunch of lads as well.
We had a great bunch of lads, but we had a great manager, the manager was absolutely amazing. He fetched players in who he could trust, uh,
Mm.
who wanted to play for the football club, which is important, and that's what he did. But we had, listen, Mark Smith, Peter Shirtliff, Worthington, Megson, Gary Shelton, Chapman, Varade, Bannister. We had a great, great side. Lee Chapman, wow. Put the
Mm.
ball in. He still owes me £1 million because I made him a millionaire. All the crosses I put in for him and the goals he scored. But we had a great team spirit. We all went out together. We all enjoyed it together, and we all performed for the football club, which were important.
Yeah, I mean, there's different levels, isn't there, of legend at a football club, for various different reasons. You look at the Hursties and Waddle and yourself and, who were successful, won things with the football club. You look at this current group and they're making a name for themselves in very different fashion, aren't they? Obviously, you've got the guys who were there for the promotion. Obviously, Barry Bannon, Liam Palmer are legends within their own right now. But
Mhm.
how impressed have you been with the way that this group of players have knuckled down for the cause in obviously incredibly difficult circumstances?
Well, it has been difficult. Obviously, you've seen the players that's gone. Windass gone to Wrexham. The lad Patterson's gone to MK Dons. Listen,
Yeah.
they had to go. They wasn't getting paid, and by law they couldn't be allowed to leave the football club. But the other guys, your Bannons, absolutely, absolutely fantastic. The Palmer, fantastic, and the young kids that's coming. The
Mm,
young kids what's coming. Probably they wouldn't have been ready for another year, 2 years, 3 years. But the managers had to chuck him in now, and they've not let him down. They've not let anybody down. And what them players are doing, what the managers doing, the coaching staff are doing is absolutely magnificent. And
mm,
most of all, the fans are getting behind them. Like I said, I've been to the games. They've not been having a go at him. They know the circumstances. They know it's going to change, and it is going to change. And we'll have more players to come.
yeah. You mentioned Henrik there. Obviously, Henrik's he's surrounded himself a little bit with some of the club legends. Have you had much of a chance to spend time with Henrik, and what do you make of him?
I think is well, I've met him twice now. I met him at the Norwich game, and I've met him at Allen Football Club. Believe it or not,
Mm,
he's absolutely a fantastic guy.
mm,
Great family man. His wife and his kids was in the director's room, and he's just a fantastic. Loves his football. They say he's a very very good coach. Um, the lads are taking it on board. Yeah, I'm just hoping he's going to be there when this takeover comes because people fetch their own the managers in, and I just hope they give this guy a chance because he's a great guy and
mm.
he's a great coach, and the
Yeah.
lads the lads are really taking to him.
Yeah, he's another one that came in during a time of need, right? Like he could have gone elsewhere. I know he had other job offers, not necessarily as a manager, maybe, but like some really good clubs elsewhere. And I think his willingness to be part of this fight says a lot about him as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think he wants it just as like the fans want it, and obviously the players that's there. This is like a snowball. It's really small at the moment, but I guarantee you it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger
Mm.
with success. And he wants to be part of it, and obviously, I'm sure a lot of the players do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You mentioned him in there, Barry Bannon. Obviously, Baz has been with Sheffield Wednesday a long time now, a decade of him at the club. Think he often gets spoken about amongst the legends because some of the Wednesdayites these days never got to see the '90s. You never got to see yourself.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Having watched a lot of him, reckon he'd made a decent teammate.
Absolutely, I keep in touch with him. Actually, I do text him.
Oh dear, brilliant.
Yeah, I do text him, and what a wonderful guy. He keeps me informed. I always ask him, keep going, tell him to keep going, and keep them young lads running about and making him. just get the ball and pass it. He don't have to be running about. Let the young kids do it. But he's just a great guy, great footballer. And again, he could have moved on. He could
Mm,
have gone. But he's been at the football club. He respects the football club. He respects the fans. And he's just a great, great guy.
yeah.
Great guy. And yeah, he would have been a great player for us.
Yeah, I mean, him and Liam are real
Hmm.
figureheads, aren't they, for the football club? And Liam's literally seen everything in his time there. And how important is it to have? Obviously, Barry is sort of an adopted Wednesdayite now, but like to have someone like yourself who is really sort of bleeds blue and white and not as as an adopted thing. Like Liam has been there since he was a baby, basically.
Yeah, that's right. I think he was there since 9 years old. I think he was.
Mm.
And a long, long time. So he has seen some hell of a lot of managers, a hell of a lot of players. Um, it's just amazing for him to be still playing now. But this day and age, you keep yourselves fit, you look after the bodies, and he'll play for a lot longer. But yeah, like I've said, he's seen a hell of a lot of managers and players come and go at that football club, but he's still here and he's still doing well,
Yeah,
and he loves the football club.
absolutely. Mel, this has been brilliant. Just before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you to build your perfect Sheffield Wednesday player, whether it's players you played with or players you've watched in a Wednesday shirt. So I'm looking for best football brain, best left foot, best right foot, best captain, and best stamina, the guy who could run the most.
Well, the Sheffield Wednesday, the best guy who could run the most was a young midfield player called Gary Shelton.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely amazing, amazing midfield player, box to box, could get in for a tackle. He'd be down for me. One of the midfield player who could run everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then in terms of best football brain.
Best football brain I would put down to. I thought Gary Mixon had a great football brain. Gary Mixon was fantastic.
Mm,
Uh, Probably Gary Mixon. I thought he had a great football brain. Yeah, great
yeah.
footballer again. Used to get in among the midfield players. Used to tackle. Used to pass it. And yeah, great footballer. Great
Brilliant.
football.
Best leader.
Best leader. Well, there's only one. Mickey Lyons.
Thought you might say
Mickey
that.
Lyons was absolutely a magnificent leader, captain. Um, he used to sort the night outs out with the lads and the ladies and his wives. He was amazing, amazing human being,
Yeah.
and everybody at that football club and in that team at that time loved him.
Brilliant. Best right foot.
Obviously, I'm talking to you now. Mel
Yeah.
Sterland, I thought, yeah, I thought I had the best right foot. Not very good with my left foot, but absolutely magnificent with my right. Score goals, make goals, kick people, which we could then. We can't do it now because it's a non-contact sport. But yeah, Mel Sterland, best right foot going. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there'll be a pretty big generation of Wednesday fans will agree with you there. And then lastly, best left foot.
Well, there's a few. Mark Smith had a good left foot. Nigel Worthington, a good left foot. Glyn Snodding had a
Mm.
great left foot. Um, I'm going to go for Nigel Worthington. I'm going to go for Nigel. Nigel had a. Is this when I played with, or because Tommy Craig? I remember watching
Yeah,
Tommy
and
Craig.
anybody, whether you played or just someone you watched.
Right, Tommy Craig. I've got to go. I've got to say Tommy Craig. I used to love Tommy Craig. I
Mm,
loved him. What a footballer! What a football brain! He was very clever. Yeah, Tommy Craig, best left foot.
brilliant. Mel, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm so glad to see you smiling again. And yeah, brighter days to come for Sheffield Wednesday. We'll hopefully see you there a bit more often.
Lovely. Up the owls.